Yo, what's up, Miranda?
What's up?
So, thanks for hopping on the call. Obviously, we're here because we're going to give pretty much a background of where you were before, working with me one on one, what you learn, how things are now, and then, just going from there.
All right.
Sweet.
I've always been wanting to be athletic and be in shape and being like fit and all that stuff. And I was when I was younger, but then I started to not become so in shape. And I'm very much of an outdoor kind of person. So um, I liked doing that kind of a workout. I didn't really know what to do in the gym. So I never really went to the gym. And being from Colorado, like my workouts outside were very limited. I'm in a bathing suit all the time, and I wanted to get that bathing suit bod that everybody wants. And I wanted to feel confident in myself again. So I just started reaching out to people and seeing what they thought and what they do.
Right. I remember you were talking to Amanda at the time when she was working with me, and that's how pretty
Correct.
much we were introduced to one another. So
Correct.
you were interested in the coaching, you had a couple of questions and revolving around like what you were doing then. And correct me if I'm wrong, you were experiencing a little bit of like, lower back pain. You were also, what was the other thing? It was how to do something with your knee, I believe, right?
Yes, my
Yeah,
knee was not happy with me when I was swimming for like hours on end.
right.
And definitely the lower back pain from my previous back surgery. Yeah.
Yeah. And up to this
Yes.
point, you don't have any knee pain or lower back pain, correct?
Correct. It's actually relieving. The only time I get my back pain now is if I just sleep on my stomach, which really messes up my back.
That happens to me.
Uh, don't recommend doing that. It's not good for your back. And then my knee, I don't have any issues with it at all. It's actually really nice being able to be out in the water for hours and be completely fine. But yeah, no, um, everything has really helped out with both of those things. Yeah, it's been great.
So yeah, I remember we were talking about in our first call that we would address a lot of like core strength, a lot of corrective work revolving around how you moved in the gym, and so with you also putting in the work, putting in those video reviews, you did a really good job getting like the feedback necessary for you to improve. Another
Yeah.
thing that I do recall was more so like with your nutrition. So give us a little bit of a backstory around like what you were doing at the time before we had made the adjustments and like the difference between the two.
Before, I definitely was not eating enough and was eating a lot of junk and prepared and processed foods. And therefore wasn't seeing the results I wanted to see. Even though I was trying to eat healthy, it wasn't the healthy way. I wasn't seeing results from how I was eating. And then with working with you, I actually lost weight when I ate way more than I used to eat, which was a shock for me. But I've learned that it's because my body needs food
Yeah,
and food gives it energy, and therefore it can then burn the fat and calories that it needs to burn so I can feel that fit and shape. And so now I still do eat some processed foods and I still do eat junk food every now and then because I'm human. But I really try to focus on what I'm putting in my body. I really focus on the macros and how much that affects me and how I feel. And yeah, I still definitely eat way more than I used to.
good. And it's only gonna keep increasing because we're at a point too where where it might up your frequency for your workouts and you're getting stronger, you're getting a lot more muscle tissue, and overall you're feeling more energized too. So
Yeah,
we're still chipping away, we're still figuring out how your body works and what's best for you at the moment.
exactly.
Yeah, cool. So before you started the coaching, you're experiencing lower back pain, a little bit of trouble with the knees. You weren't eating as much as you thought you should be eating. I know you kind of already talked about it a little bit in regarding to what you did with me in the program, but like, what did you learn? Like, what were some things that really stood out to you? Like, that made the change.
Definitely the more carbs I eat, the less tired I am. And good carbs, not just like potato chips,
Right.
but like actually eating good carbs. That was one thing that was really important for me to learn. I guess, yeah, just eating more protein is a big thing as well. I realized I thought I was eating a good amount of protein just based on like what you learn growing up, but I definitely was not eating near the amount that my body needs. I was maybe eating one thing of chicken a day,
Right.
and like now I'm eating, I mean, I literally am snacking on beef jerky right before
Yeah.
this. So, which I can pay attention now to be like, all right, this sounds really good, but it's really high in fat and it kind of isn't great in the other things. But then I also just do my numbers and I figure it out on if it's a good fit or not in my meal plan. And meal planning also just helps with my day and with my work schedule and everything. And that way I can plan ahead
Yeah.
on what I need to do for the next couple days of work because my days are long at work. And then I don't get a chance to leave for lunch. So I think meal prepping is something that I've learned, and just being better at paying attention to what goes in my body, especially the fact that carbs, yeah, like I said, carbs are not the evil thing that we're being taught they are.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people always say that carbs is like the reason why they're overweight or why they can't see the results. It's more common that I see people have a trouble losing weight because they don't eat enough protein or carbohydrates. What happens is that, they're not aware of what's going on in their nutrition, so they're probably eating too much fats or too much carbs, and there's no protein to help them build muscle. Well, building muscle is metabolically active, which requires calories, right? So if you build
Yeah.
more muscle tissue, therefore you're going to be able to ingest more calories without paying the price of gaining weight. It's going to help you actually boost your metabolism and get you in the right direction of, staying fit, staying energized, and just having a really good body composition, right? More muscle tissue,
Yeah.
less body fat. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
so with you experienced a lot of body recomposition. You definitely started to lose weight, even eating more, and now you trim down, you're getting strong, and that's the byproduct of, pretty much what we did working together.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit of like how life is now, like after you put in the work, after you saw like, these methods and these principles that I'm giving you are actually providing you the results that you were looking for. How has that been like now?
I feel a lot more confident. I mean, I'm human. I have my days where I'm really confident, where I'm not confident in who I am in my body and stuff. But I definitely feel a lot more confident in what I look like on the outside, but I also just feel more confident on what I feel on the inside. When I turned 30, my goal was to be treating my body the way it deserves to be treating. So like taking care of it mentally and physically, because I know I haven't been doing the physical part for most of my adult life. So physically, I feel more confident, but like I also get good sleep now. I'm not as tired. And those things are big things, especially when you're 30. And honestly, like my body hurts, but it doesn't hurt in the way that it used to.
Right.
I feel sore from my muscles getting worked out. And like, yeah, I might wake up after sleeping weirdly or whatever and have the pain from that, but just stretching it out, walking it around and being active, which I love that I actually do more things. I don't get as tired when I go paddling for surfing anymore. My breath hold has even gotten better when I go free diving, which is perfect. Those are all things that have been happening as I've become a stronger person through this program. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So it kind of branched out just not from the gym, but also outside from your, work life as well. Like your stamina increased. You're not as achy in the wrong places. Like we talked about earlier, it was on your lower back, your knees, but now it's more on your muscle tissue, which you're accustomed to now. You're getting used to it. And
Yeah.
that's part of being like, I guess a gym bro. Like we're just always like, other girls and the guys in the gym, like we're always like talking about like how we're sore from like leg day or sore from back day, and it's like it's not a bad thing, and it's not an extreme sore either. Like you're just kind of a little bit achy, but then when you stretch, when you move, it goes away. I'm glad that you got all those benefits. This is why I freaking coach, because I do see the byproducts of like other parts of your life being improving. From from knowing you from like a year and a half ago, you got a new job, you're going out to a new gym, you're feeling a lot more confident in yourself, you have a nice routine, you're meal planning, and it's like it's been helping you just become like the version that you wanted to become by the time you were 30.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So then another question I have for you was, was all this experience worth your time and energy?
100%. 100%. Yeah. I still feel weird like walking into a new gym, trying to figure everything out, but I don't feel as like dumb or stupid as I used to feel just staring at the machines going, what do I do with this? And especially with like your form videos, checking on everything, it really does help me know what I'm doing. And even though like most of it is through online, like it's not like I'm wasting anything from it. I've learned a lot through this. And I definitely recommend it. 100%. No regrets.
No regrets. I was gonna say the conventional way to get coaching in the past, I mean, still to this day, people still do it, is through in person. What made you decide that online was going to be something that you can do? Like, what was that decision factor going on?
It's easier to plan a schedule around that. You don't have to constantly be planning your schedule with someone else's schedule. I can go to the gym when I want to go to the gym. And when you're able to meet up with me in person, you're able to meet up with me in person, which is awesome. Also, just through Amanda recommending you, not once, but twice.
Nice.
And it wasn't even like close to each other when she recommended me the first time or second time. That I just was like, you know what? She's really like recommending this guy. And therefore I felt like I should probably give it a try. And I did.
So you're ready for the change, honestly. You know what? I'm just gonna like leap forward, not look back, and see how it goes.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm glad that Amanda really pushed you on it because I didn't know about the twice. I knew about one time. She did mention you to me before, and I was curious. I was like, oh, I wonder if this girl's gonna reach out or not. And then I believe you followed me on Instagram, and then I reached out. Is that correct?
Sure. I don't know. It was a year ago, over a year.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago. So either way, it was a double like do it. And
Yeah.
Amanda, she's awesome. She's very athletic as well herself, and she's very disciplined and very like on point. So
Yes.
yeah, so she's great.
She is. Love her.
Too bad she's not on the island no more.
I know. She's got to be on the East Coast. Rude.
My last question to you now is, what are your final thoughts, and what would you tell someone who's on the fence of getting help? Like maybe they've been watching someone do online fitness coaching for a while, and they're not 100% sure with the decision to maybe ask for help or make the leap forward, or maybe they have some kind of suspicion that maybe it's not for them.
I think a big thing that kind of stops people is like the financial aspect of it. But in the way I put it for myself was, this isn't just me spending money on like a TV or something. This is me putting money for myself and making me feel better for myself. And if you've been looking at videos and you've been researching it and you're curious about it, just do it, because clearly you're curious about it and you want to do it. So that's my thinking of it, is you kind of just got to tell yourself to do it. If it's something that you're interested in, and it's been something you're interested in, it's kind of like a tattoo. You think about it, you think about it, you want it. It costs a lot of money, but in the end, like, you're happy with the results and you're happy that you did it most of the time. Tattoos is maybe not so much, but yeah. Like, you're happy that you're putting the time, the effort, the money, everything into making yourself feel like you are wanting to feel, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
So if you're on the edge, just do it. Nike, just do it.
And then what about like for the people who think it doesn't work? Like, because again, it's all online. It is self-paced. Yeah. You have to put in the work. I just guide you to what it is that you're asking, and I make sure that I'm supporting you throughout the whole way. But For the
Yeah.
people who are like, like, they have their doubts, or maybe they're just like not convinced, like, what would you tell them?
I think I understand. I understand like the fear of being scammed and the fear of all of that, especially in today's day and age. I think it's for me, like I said earlier, like just the scheduling is easier than being in person. And just because it's online doesn't mean you're not getting the help that you need. I mean, we send you videos every single after every single workout. You give us feedback on those videos. We meet with each other all the time. I can reach out to you at any time. So it's honestly not any different than having a trainer in person. It's just you're online.
Right.
And it's not like it's that big of a difference. So much that we do today is online. How many people have friends through our online that they've never met in person,
Right.
but they talk and hang out all the time? There's no difference. And I think for me, being online is so much easier. I mean, before I bought you, before I put like
You had
did
invested.
this
Yeah.
situation, I was like YouTubing videos and stuff, but you have to have that commitment in order to do it. And that just because, like, yeah, sometimes I guess that in person makes it a little bit easier to be like, I have to go. But also for me, I spent the money on it, therefore I have to do it.
Right.
So like for me, it's just like, you know what, I put the money into it, therefore I need to put the effort into it. So I actually am not wasting the money that I spent.
You betted on yourself, and you were like, I'm gonna make this work.
Exactly.
Right. Awesome. I like your tattoo analogy. You're like, it's like a tattoo. You just got to do it.
Just gotta do it.
You just got to do it. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that, things are still playing off. I mean, you and I are still working together, and you're doing great. I freaking adore that you're always on the calls. You're always submitting the exercise reviews. You're always asking questions, and like, you're just doing it. You're doing the damn thing. Compared to, like, say if you were to do it in person, it would be a totally different story.
It would be
And
very different.
yeah, and me as someone who used to work in person, like, I would always make the comparison of like how online is far superior than in person, because let's just say you were to work with me 3 times a week for a month. That's 12 sessions. An average session costs around $100, especially here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So instead of you paying 1,000, you're only paying like what, like no more than like $100 a week.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
much better.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. All right, Miranda, that was my final question for you. I'm glad that you took your time out of your day to hop on the call and just give a perspective of how coaching has been like for you. And again, if as usual, if you have any friends, if you have any people at work that need help, like, let them know, and I'd be super glad to help them out.
For sure. I'll definitely show you around.
Thanks. Sweet. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll stay in touch, and then we'll talk soon. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Take care.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye.